sex for grades. So Simon, I want to touch on something that you said, which is that you were part of a case where the lecturer even ended up being fired, and you felt that justice had been done for the victims or victim. I wanted to hear from you. What do you think worked with your case? Where are the clear spaces in which you thought this is what led to this, is what led to this, and that is why justice was served?
Persistence. Purely persistent. I was persistent on that case. I never let it go because it was someone that I knew. So I never just wanted to let the case go, and I thought it was that we could use that person as an example to the other perpetrators who want to take advantage of their students.
When you say persistence, is it that the first time you went, you felt nothing happened and you had to go back, or what? What
Precisely.
do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. When we went for the first time, it was taken on a lighter note. So I had to go to a certain office, and a call that was made from that higher office to that institution shook them a little bit, and they saw that this one was now taking a bigger stage that they could not handle. So they had to actually exert justice on that person. Yeah.
And was it something that was discussed or announced? Was there a space for other victims to come and share their experiences and sort of point out, hey, I've had this too? Or was there any room for that, I guess, is what I'm
There
asking.
was room, but only a handful came out to speak, but they had no candid evidence to show that this had actually happened. So in such a scenario, when you cannot actually prove, because somebody just comes and says that he spanked me, he touched me, and there's nothing to actually prove that, so it's kind of hectic for somebody to prove that this actually happened to the person. But in that case, we had text messages of rejection toward that person, so it was easy to convict that person.
It was clear.
Yeah.
It was clear. I mean, it's really even tough, and it's sad to think that is one of the strategies. Can you get text evidence? Can you get someone filming you? You wish that wasn't even the case, but that, I mean, it seems like it's the only way. Evidence is the way that will trip up many people. I mean, because how else do you come
Actually, you see,
forward?
the problem to some extent with the harassment, especially the ones that come with maybe the words that I say to you, or maybe touching, it's kind of hectic to prove on that actually.
Difficult.
Yeah. But
Unless you have set a camera and
Yeah, and you've got
and all
someone.
that.
Yeah.
Like the way BBC did it. Because
Right, right,
but how much will you require to do all
Yeah,
that?
and sometimes you don't know when it's going to happen. You
Yeah.
can't just have body cameras on yourself
Yeah.
the
so
whole time.
verbal evidence, it cannot work so
Yeah.
much. I think.
Yeah.
And they know, and they know. That's why it's very difficult for you to find written evidence.
Yeah. Are there cases of students who willingly sort of go up and maybe are the ones even suggesting to the professors and the lecturers, listen, I want to pass. I'm sure you need a little help here and there. Is that an issue or a problem in your universities?
That might be true, but that's not sexual harassment anymore.
No, it's not. It's
Yes,
not.
yes.
But it's still illegal. I mean, it's not, in a lot of higher learning institutions, it's not permitted, because essentially what you're doing is you're trading grades for sex. Whether it's consensual or not, it's still not permitted. And I think it even makes this space even more convoluted, I think.
I like to think and say, and I know for sure that lecturers, apart from them having a teaching responsibility, they have a moral obligation to show us the right way. They are like our mentors, they are our role models. This is the way. So if a student approaches you, you are supposed to be in a position to, as a parent, now as a moral guide, not as a lecturer anymore, to let them know, no, what you're doing, this is not right. This is how you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Do you have any lecturers that have come forth and said, listen, there's a problem here. I'm getting way too many advances. Have you heard of that? Of lecturers sort of, on the other hand, reporting?
Yeah, I've had such, but then they would probably blame it on, that day that student came dressing like this, and
So the lines
Yeah.
get quite blurred there. All
But,
right.
but I've never had a scenario whereby the lecturer has come out to complain that there's a student who's hitting on him or her.
Clearly.
So for that scenario, I dismiss that fact. And unless I get a fact from a lecturer that so and so tried hitting on me for grades,
it's hard.
But I've never had
But
such.
you believe it does happen.
No, I don't believe so much that it does happen.
I also
You don't believe
because
that-
I've had cases about the students coming to report, but for the lecturers, like they've always kept quiet. If in case if it happens, like they've always kept quiet. They've never come out. Why don't they also come out?
I'm
If
sure
such
it's
cases
because
happen,
they're saying
why
yes,
don't they
they're
also
saying-
come out and like the students they
Yeah.
speak out and say there is this that is
Yeah.
happening. That shows that there is something that is hidden, and so
Yeah.
it's not true. Like as for me, it's something
Right.
that doesn't
Do,
work out.
do you think
It's
lecturers
still
can actually sit
unprofessional.
down maybe in the
Yeah.
staff room
And talk about this
discuss that there's a
sexual
student
harassment.
who was hitting on me so that I can give them marks? They don't speak,
Yeah.
so we don't know of
Or
such
maybe
cases.
if they do, I imagine they're doing it in a like a boys' club. Like this person, I imagine, I don't have any proof, but I imagine if you were getting certain advances and you were, leaning more towards, hey, it's okay, I don't care, I'll give you the grades, then you'd probably end up sharing that information as part of like, yeah, you can, this girl, this person, this lady. I'm also curious to know from you if any men have come out as having been, haven't received some unwanted advances from their lecturers, from female lecturers or male lecturers. Have you found any men coming out and complaining that this professor, this lecturer refused to give me grades?
I'm sure it does happen to men as well, but the thing with men, they rarely come out in the open to speak about it. Like they probably go down to the grave with that, because even just talking to fellow men, I'm not a man, but I know even just talking to fellow men, you'll be ridiculous. They're like, that's such an opportunity. Yeah, like ungepita nayo.
But I'm sure,
Yeah.
I mean, for everyone it's different, and it might leave you feeling, what are you doing? I don't want that.
Yeah.
I just want my grades and I'm gone. I just want to get what I've earned and I'm out.
See, for males, you're seen as an alpha male. So for a man to actually come out and say that a madam lecturer or a madam professor tried doing this to me, it's kind of hectic. As she said, they'll always be trying to encourage each other, "Gapita nayo," or something of the sort.
Yeah, but I mean, I hope we would also create safe spaces for men to be able to say.
But as for me, I think
Yeah.
it's been different because of the type of friendship that I've made with the young boys in my school. Like I've had several of them coming to me and telling me like this. I don't know if they were making fun out of it or they were trying to make jokes or something, but several of them have come to me and like we're making stories, we're just talking, and they tell me so and so is trying to approach me in a disguising way, like the way that is keeping me uncomfortable, and I don't know what I can do about it. Is it actually bad or something? Am I supposed to give in or am I supposed to brush it off? And I'm trying to share with you so that I see if there is a way you can help me. Like they've been speaking out, like but in a friendly way, like
Right.
yeah.
I think it's important that we don't make this a women issue because I think it cuts across
It
board.
cuts
It's just
across.
that the percentage
Are high,
is- yeah,
skewed, of
is-
course.
is-
Yeah.
Because the ladies are the
Yeah.
most
But
vulnerable.
it's a human rights issue.
Yeah. But like you said, there's more women though. That there's more women who have to go through this. But again, men also have to feel safe enough to be like, I didn't ask. And again, we're assuming that it's like a gorgeous, sexy 25-year-old lecturer. It could be someone who you're just like, you are my mother. Why are you talking to me like that? Or vice versa. Even if they were attractive, it could still be someone who's saying, I didn't ask for that. I just want to get what I earned.
Actually, because of such, under the Private University Student Association of Kenya, we want to come up with a way that we hold various talks for the girl child and for the boy child to educate them on their rights, especially within the institutions. Yeah.
But there is this stereotype that men are always strong, of which it is not true. Not all men are strong. Men are dying silently. As for the ladies, we are talkative. Like we speak out when you have a problem. You go
share our
to your guy, yeah.
feelings,
But then as for
yeah.
men, they die silently. That is the reason men are committing suicide so much. So like they should also find safe. So we should also create safe spaces for the boy child, for them to be.
But I have something to say. You see the way when people sometimes when start talking about women empowerment, that we are usually like, why just women? And when it comes to things like this and gender issues, it's always women who are there. It's because, again, we said percentage, when you look at the percentage, but also it's because women are fronting women issues. I think it will also be very good for the men to step up and start fronting their issues, because it will be very difficult for, unless you are really passionate, and you really understand what men go through, then it will be easy for you to front that as a woman. But I think it is just easier for men to front.
Yeah, I do agree with you, but I'm noting that we have Simon here talking about what predominantly for this discussion has been women's issues. So I think it's important for men to also step up and be like, hey, I'm standing up for all the women that need support and need safe spaces. And in the same way, I mean, I feel like we could go back and forth. I fully understand you. Girl, we're on the same page. And all those people who are like, but also men. And I'm like, do you have any idea how long women have gone through this? But I hear you and I get you. And I think we're on the same page that men also need to have safe spaces,
So much
fronted by men too. Just let
backed up by ladies.
and backed up by ladies. Exactly. Social media. I want to sort of tie this show and end the show by talking about something that is a big part of our zeitgeist and just the current culture in which we communicate, in which we hold each other accountable, the cancelled culture and everything. Do you think it can play a role in holding people accountable, in pushing this discussion and creating safe spaces for people in higher learning institutions, for students?
Exactly, it does, because even considering the Ghanaian exposure, whereby that exposure that was brought out by BBC, it has actually made some people go back and hide in their cocoons. They're afraid of doing such things. And imagine you're a professor and you're being highlighted on the screens for doing such things. You'll actually have to hide and relax a bit. Even if you're one of the people who harass these ladies or gents in schools, you'll have to relax back a bit.
Yeah, I think social media is a really powerful activism tool. And as he just said, that when people come out, even just not the BBC, when people come out and have these discussions on Twitter and tag maybe the professors, like I tag the professor who does that, that will send a message. And it will definitely probably turn down or even stop. Yeah, because no one wants to be in the bad list or in the list of shame. No one wants that. Yeah.
And based on the fact that we are living in the world of social media, since it is already out, I'm sure unless you're not of sound mind that you'll continue doing the act. But then if you see such things as she said, you tag the professor or whoever has committed the crime or something, they'll be afraid. Definitely everybody will be afraid unless if you're of unsound mind.
Yeah, even universities, we tag the university will see there is need. We need to address this problem.
And social media is very, very powerful.
It is.
Just try posting something on KOT in the morning, and within no day it will be a meme all over the country, you see. So social media is a very strong tool that we can use to ensure that these perpetrators are brought to book, actually.
I don't know who said it at the beginning, but I do believe someone mentioned that it really is about power, and that the professors, the lecturers, they understand the kind of power that they hold, and that's why they take advantage of the students. And I think social media provides a space for that balance, for that shift to take place, where you then have the opportunity to be like, excuse me, I have reported this many times, nothing has happened, and have people stand behind you. In as much as it can also be a dangerous place, and people might end up ridiculing and it might bashing you.
Turn against
but I still think it does more good in this case than harm. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Did you want to say one thing?
Yes. To say something. And to say, this campaign, what makes this campaign unique with Action Aid and UN Women is that it's a student-led campaign, and of course, we've had so many other student-led campaigns, but this one is that we have demands and we have a petition that these demands have to be met once the petition is signed, and we have launched it. We are going to involve the Ministry of Gender and Ministry of Education. It's important because at the policy level, so that we are able to achieve this. So that's what makes this campaign unique, and you can always follow this conversation online, #CampusMeToo on all social media platforms, and we'll also tag SDG ambassadors and Gender in Kenya, that is UN Women.
And the campaign is called?
The campaign is just sexual harassment in higher learning institutions.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And,
And I know a petition will come from that at
Yes.
some point.
Yes.
And actually on that campaign, on 19th of next month at UON, we'll be doing an official luncheon of the same. So you can actually grace the occasion with your presence, and we'll really appreciate for that too. Yeah.
And I think you guys watching out there, you can as well tag your friends, tell a friend to tell a friend, because not all of you are watching at this time. So you can tell your friend that you can follow us on social media at Campus Me Too, and
Okay.
join us during our launch.
All right.
19th.
19th of
19th
November.
November,
All
yes.
right. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing, serving your community, speaking up, standing up, going back into those offices and into even bigger offices and going back, knocking. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place here on NTV. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Adios.